Howdy, folks. That's Charles Deering and Russell Clarity down right there beside me. And this is episode 3, season 1 of the midday version of Scrolling with Charlie. And right when I started the show, somebody wrote to me on Facebook, I love this stuff, so I'm going to get rid of Facebook while I'm doing this. Topics today are different ways of getting rid of the fuzzies. And for those that don't know what fuzzies are, it's most of the time left behind by spiral blades on the underside of a project. Every now and then, depending on what you're using, it can happen on the top. Next topic will be blade differences and what it can be done with each one of them, and the major debate about CNC and laser work, whether or not it's woodwork. Any opinions expressed by me and or Russ are our own, do not represent the community as a whole. And Russ, while me and Russ were talking before the show, I was getting a lot of lag on his audio, so I'm hoping it's only me hearing that. But we have 0 viewers right now anyway, so we're not hurting anybody, but it will be recorded. Okay, that being said, Russ, why don't you introduce yourself while I turn off Facebook?
I'm Russ Clarity. I'm down here in Central Florida. I've been scrolling for over about 35 plus years. You can reach me at simplywoodencreations.com or Simply Wooden Creations on Facebook, and I've also been producing some videos as Simply Wooden Creations on YouTube.
Good deal. Yep, he's a YouTube newbie, but he's got a following. All right, so y'all make sure you check that out. I am, if you're not watching this on my channel is Charles Deering Scroll, and on Facebook I'm called The Charles Deering. And I got a couple groups on there too. My website is woodenvisions.com. That's where all of my patterns can be found, scroll saw patterns. All that being said, let's start the show. So, when it comes to, Happy Pi Day, says Edgar Natras. Pi Day meaning 3.14. Anybody that knows anything about math and pi, 3.414 and all the numbers afterwards. Yes, today is March 14th, 2015, 2 days after my daughter's birthday and the day of my stepdaughter's birthday. Anyway, I thought y'all don't want to know that. Anyway, we're going to start out. I'm going to go ahead and start out with the CNC laser debate. That's CNC and laser are 2 different things. Okay, the big argument for some people, CNC and laser is not woodwork because all you're doing is inputting stuff and it does it itself. Now, my opinion, I speak only for myself, and then I'll go over to Russ and get his opinion. And happy Pi Day to you too, Ed, by the way. Okay, I know of at least 2 people who incorporate CNC work into their woodwork. They are good woodworkers aside from the CNC. But they incorporate the CNC like the lid of a box. Can be done in CNC, but they built the box better than I could. Not that I'm the best example to go by, but some people incorporate both. In that case, I believe it to be 100% woodworking. I don't own a CNC. I've never used a CNC or a laser, so I can't jump on that side of the debate to say how it is woodworking. But hopefully somebody watching can come in on that. Now, the only time I don't like CNC or laser is if somebody is at a show or trying to sell stuff and they pass it off as handmade. That's when I'm upset by it. But for anybody that has never seen laser cut work, the biggest telltale sign of laser cut work is burnt edges. Scroll saw work will not have burnt edges, and I don't believe CNC will either. But there again, and for the sake of giving one example of a guy, I believe there's a guy named Richard Mahler who does CNC woodwork. I don't know enough about him to know whether or not he incorporates other woodwork in relation to that, but I do know Ted Alexander. That's his name on YouTube as well, or just look for Ted Alexander. He does all kinds of stuff, but he incorporates CNC into some of it, and I think that is woodwork because he's doing woodwork besides just the CNC. So check out Ted. Yeah, bloody crud. I almost got it through a whole few minutes without stuttering. So check out Ted Alexander on YouTube, and you'll see a good incorporation of traditional woodworking as well as CNC work. Let me run on over to Russ and get his opinion. And there again, our opinions are our own. And hello to you, T. Dunford.
I I have mixed emotions about it. I mean, in a lot of ways. I mean, you use a router, that's a machine.
Yep.
You use a lathe, that's a machine. And I don't really have a problem with the CNC or the laser. And I agree with you. If somebody's passing it off as handmade, it's not the same. It's not really handmade. But if you incorporate it, and basically I'm kind of repeating what you just said, but if you're incorporating, like if you make a box and you use the CNC or the laser or whatever to do some engraving or something on the lid of the box, or something like that aspect, then yeah, I think it's fine and everything. But I don't know. I also have a other side that tells me it's cheating in a way, because when you just program something into a computer and boom, poof, right there it is, right in front of you. You know, it's you're taking a lot out of the technique of handmade hand woodworking. So to me, it's a controversial subject in my own self, so to speak, because
Absolutely.
you know I would love to have one. Don't get me wrong. If somebody wanted to send me a free CNC machine, or what is that, the new one come out, the Shape Oak, whatever.
Shapeoko 2. I
Yeah,
think Shapeoko 3 is out now. I'm not sure.
well,
I think it's
I'd
called an
take
X Star.
I'd take either one of them for free. But and I'm glad the people that have gotten them are using them and stuff. And like I said, I can see where it would work great in some of my woodworking. I have a real hard time engraving things by hand, so to speak, with a router or something into the woodworking. It just doesn't turn out as good, as nice as I would like for it to, and those machines would do great. But it's
Yes, sir.
it's it's a different it's a concept that well, like I said, I think when the routers come out, there was a lot of people that didn't like the router or claimed that wasn't handmade or stuff. So I think it's just going to take time for it to work its way into the woodworking circles and be accepted.
I agree. Now, there are a lot of YouTube woodworkers out there that were gifted by Shapeoko. Shapeoko is spelled SHAPEOKO. And they came out the Shapeoko 2 and sent that to a lot of YouTube woodworkers. And I believe what they have out right now is called an X Carve. Now, there again, that was a very good point when it came to like when routers came out. I mean, everybody uses tools. Some people use hand tools, some people use power tools. And I wish we had somebody viewing right now that use either CNC or laser that could defend it on their side, because we're only saying it as outsiders. But uh, I think as long as it's incorporated into hand done woodwork, I think, in my opinion, that it's woodwork. But I don't want to come right out and say it's not woodwork, because I don't know enough about CNC work to know what all is involved besides just programming and hitting a button and watching it go. But with all of that being said, I don't know why I'm always saying with that being said, if you are looking just to make an income and mass produce, then both of these things are a good thing to have. But if you pass them off as homemade, that's where the deception is, and that's the only time I dislike it. But for mass producing and making money, then that's definitely your ticket. We're not getting anything in the Q&A section regarding that, so I guess we can go on to sanding fuzzies. Oh, by the way, if anybody, uh, one difference to the evening show is also going to be on the midday show. We're not going to go. We used to try to make it last an hour, and then we got to where we were having so much fun that we would keep it going until we got almost no viewers, and then the viewership is way down. It's like barely ever pops out of 200. So either the topic in general bores the crap out of them, or the fact that we're going on for 2 hours. And we also had a full panel down here, and that would take up a lot of time, and I think that bored some people. And that there again, we deeply appreciate all the panel members we've had in the past, and we're just trying to see what works best in this genre. And I forgot what my point was before that. Oh, my point was is that I don't know if this show will last an hour right now, even though we list it as lasting an hour. It all depends. But we got something in the Q&A, then I'll move on to the topic. Can you imagine what the folks who made art with a coping saw thought about the electric scroll saw? Says Jeffrey Super. That's a very good point. And that's probably the biggest thing, like Russ was saying. The things that came along, once you had power tools, a lot of people could have considered that cheating. So I don't think me or Russ have a dog in the fight, so to speak.
I'll just like to interject just one little example, and it's not really woodworking, but it's the same line. Is my brother is a painting contractor, and everything back years ago was done with a brush and roller, and then along came the airless sprayer. When that first came out, there were a lot of contractors and my brother worked for that would not allow him to use that airless sprayer on their houses, on their walls, because they said the paint, it did something to the paint, it wouldn't last as long. They come up with all kind of excuses, which were not true at all. But once again, it was something new. It wasn't brushing and rolling, and I think that's a phase we're probably going to end up going through with the CNC and the laser machines too. Just thought of that.
Yeah, and I think all these YouTube woodworkers that received the CNC, they were already passionate about the woodwork that they do, so I don't think it'll take it away from that. They may incorporate that CNC into some of their work, you know, just because Shapeoko took the time to send them CNCs, and that I can't speak for any of them, but some of them may decide, you know, thank you, but I'm more into what I do. But I think it was a good business move for Shapeoko to send those out. But I do not doubt at all that those woodworkers still have that passion of their woodworking, or they wouldn't be around. And you may see viewership dwindle for them if they do decide to go almost fully CNC. That's if you're into watching strictly woodworking, videos. So I guess that would cover, unless somebody in the Q&A section throws in that they have a CNC or laser in their opinion, and anybody watching, even if we've gone past the topic, you're more than welcome to throw in a question or comment. And how to do that, look on this side of your screen, not mine, and you will see what it looks like the side of a Rubik's Cube. And it's a square with a bunch of little squares in it. Click on that, and you should be able to ask questions. So even if we moved on past the topic, as soon as I can squeeze in your question or comment, I'll do so. Okay, the other topic was sanding fuzzies, and that sounds pretty basic, and some people may say duh, but there are different methods. What I do, I say as many waste pieces. Okay, let's say I'm using the stuff in the background as an example. Let's say I save this waste piece. I'm doing it backwards. My screen is backwards so I can see what everybody else sees. But you save this piece, and when you're done cutting it all, you put it back in place. That way, you can use a palm sander, and it won't break that off because you got that waste piece around it that's protecting it. I do the same thing with pretty much all of my pieces. You can't save every little tiny piece unless you want to take the time to, but there are definitely ways of power sanding. And I think random orbital sander will be gentler than a regular, just vibrating palm sander. I also, when I get done doing that, I will usually use a little piece of sandpaper or what they call needle files. And it's time consuming, but that's one method. Some people use a torch. I'm scared to do that because I'm afraid of burn marks, but that may be because I'm paranoid and I've never done it. But I'm going to run over to Russ, see what he does.
But all the above.
Well, this can be a real short show.
Just all the above. Yeah, I've used, and I have one right here. I've used these propane torches to burn the fuzzies off the back on several occasions. One thing I will warn you, if you get it too close or hold it in one place too long, poof, your project's going to go up in smoke because it will catch on fire rather easily. So you have to be very careful with this. It works great. It works good. I think one of the biggest contributions to getting rid of the fuzzies is, and I have some of them over here, is, see if I can find them. You see how prepared I am.
Russ was not prepared. You got a very crystal clear picture on my end, by the way.
These new ultra reverse blades. They make spirals now in reverse blades, ultra reverse. Flying Dutchman has them out. I'm not too sure about Olson since I don't use a lot of Olson blades. But and also three of these new ultra reverse spiral blades help. Sorry, I'm holding them down here and I realize that y'all can't see them. But these new Flying Dutchman ultra reverse blades, they really do help take away, I would say, they don't take away all of it, but I would say 70%. You have a 70% reduction in fuzzies on the back by using these ultra reverse spiral blades. So it does tremendously help. As Charles said, I've used the little small files to do that. One thing I also like to do, which is very cheap and very inexpensive, you can use fingernail file disposable emery boards. Yep. And you can even take them and lay them down and take a razor blade, and you can actually make them a lot smaller or thinner to fit in the little places. All I did was lay it on a flat surface, take a straight edge, hold it down, and take a razor blade and slice it. So that's another way. I mean, another thing that I have that I built myself, I call it a sand flea. It's not really a sand flea. It's a drum sander that I built myself. And I got it an adjustment where I can take just a minute amount of wood off the back of a piece, and I've experimented with some fretwork that I've done on it, and it does a real good job of removing the fuzzies on the back.
And you use that sand flea look-alike on your last video, did you not?
Yes, that after I ran it through the planer, the wood started out at 3/4. I wanted to get it down to about a 1/2 inch thick, because I was adding a 1/4 inch backer, so it would take it back up to 3/4. So yeah, I ran it through the planer, and I love to, after running through the planer, run it across that drum sander. I call it sand flea too, but it smooths it out real nice. It helps also level it, make sure it's nice and level across there. It works really great. I don't think I have, but I don't think I have but $100, maybe $125 and that thing, maybe 150, somewhere in that area, but I built it myself, and it works really great.
Yeah, you built a few things. You built your own sand flea. You built your own dust collection system. While we're talking about you using the sand flea in your last video, over his right shoulder, you'll see the clean single looking for mate sock holder. You want to tell folks about that briefly?
Yeah, it started out as a project actually for my daughter for her birthday. And that's what it started out as, and I made her one, and I liked the way it turned out so well that I decided to make one and do a video on making it, because I thought people would really like it and enjoy it. You have to watch my whole entire video to get the pattern, figure out but that's all I'm going to say. If you want the pattern to watch my video, then you'll understand.
Absolutely.
It's kind of a bribe to make you watch it, but yeah, and if you'll notice, yeah, I put the backer on, and that's why I said it. It started out at 3/4 inch. I explained it down to about 1/2, and then after you add the backer, it's still 3/4 inch thick. So yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed making the video, and got a lot of people who watched it and commenting on it. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. And Jeffrey Super says, "I love this show. I would have never thought of using a torch. Have you tried to put an emery board in the scroll saw? As far as a torch, I thought that was a good idea too, but I'm too paranoid to use it, and I don't have a torch, but I'm too paranoid to use it." But him saying I love the show is the kind of stuff I love to hear, because that's why we do this show. Thank you very much for that, Jeffrey.
He's got every right to be paranoid about that torch, because I have literally set a few projects on fire when I first started using it. Didn't know what I was doing. Yeah, I kind of laugh now, but it wasn't funny then, trust me.
Well, the other thing he asked was if you ever use those emery boards in your scroll saw.
I have not. I have thought about trying them on a few occasions, but no, I have not. I don't know. I don't know if they would work that well. They may. Try it for me and let me know, because these emery boards are cheap. You can go in any most of your dollar grocery stores or pharmacies or whatever carry these. They're not very expensive. You get like 25 of them in a pack for a couple of bucks. So they work very, very well on sanding and on these projects, and they're cheap.
Yep, and my guess would be whether or not it would work in a scroll saw would depend on the gap that your clamp has.
Yeah.
If you go too thin on sanding down your emery board to fit in the clamp, it may not be very stable. And being that it's made of pretty much wood and grit, the blade clamp itself, it may not hold up very long, but it may very well work. And Jeffrey says, very good video, by the way, Russ.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Actually, as we're talking, it will fit in my blade. The emery board will fit in my top blade clamp. So
A good deal. I hate it when I get a notification on my phone because I thought it was for the show. That's the only reason I even bothered looking. Because sometimes people write from the viewing page rather than the Q&A. But okay, let's move on to the only other topic we have is my last video. If anybody gives a crud, was me doing the Incredible Hulk. I no longer have it hanging here. But that was the last video I did. If anybody cares to see that, it's also on Charles During Scroll on YouTube. The last topic we have is the blade differences and what can be done with them. And I wanted to show y'all something. I'm going to go ahead and do a screen share. And while we go to our acid trip, I will show you this. This is something I found, and I'm very glad I found it. I don't remember who showed it, but I'm going to scroll through it very slowly. But let me start at the beginning here. You're seeing a close-up of what the teeth look like on these things. Reverse tooth or spiral reverse tooth. And when they say reverse tooth, that means at least one or two teeth are pointed to cut on the upcut. And if all the teeth are aimed down on a spiral blade, that will make all your fuzzies on the bottom. But that's why some people do reverse tooth, and it'll sort of divide up among the fuzzies. But I'm not insulting anyone's intelligence by reading it. I'm just going to read a few brief things, but it's showing how the project fretwork incorporates. Material will be hardwood, softwood, plywood. I can let y'all read that, and if I go too fast for you, this will be on the recorded version, so please resort back to that if I go too quick. But here are your blade sizes. And I'm so glad that the graphic shows what the blades look like up close, because it's hard to explain. Move down to the next one, puzzle. Excuse me. Every now and then people will do puzzle blades, and those are very, very small blades, as you can see. And that's what uses a reverse tooth. This would be the reverse tooth, because anything other than the teeth pointing down is a reverse tooth, because it'll have an occasional tooth pointing up. And there again, please revert back to this recording if I'm moving too fast for you, if you wanted to read any of this. It says general, but there was skip tooth or reverse tooth. Skip tooth, I guess, Russ can tell you better than I can. I believe it refers to the gap between the teeth. There's not just steady teeth going up and down. And this is a big gap, and with the reverse tooth. Russ, while I'm doing this, is that what skip tooth means on my little graphic? Is the fact that there's not one tooth right after another?
yes, they just it's supposed to help clear the sawdust out of your when you're trying to cut thicker woods. It just helps get the sawdust out in between the where the blade is trying to cut. Now, that being said, that's really the reason most of your burn occurs, is because the blade cannot get the wood that it's cutting, the sawdust out of the kerf, or out of that little crack where it's cutting, and that's what usually causes the burn. The skip tooth is supposed to help eliminate that.
Okay, yeah, and when he was talking about it eliminates the sawdust out of the cut. For those that don't know, the cut line that a blade of any kind leaves behind is called a kerf. It's spelled K-E-R-F.
Right.
And it may seem like common knowledge, but that's why I was saying skip tooth, because it's literally skipping a tooth. There's not a tooth right here. It skipped one. So that should help there. This is just a skip tooth, not a reverse. And that's all it's showing us. But I know there's different kinds of spirals too, but this is the only big enough chart I figured I could share. But one big announcement I should make for those that do not know, as soon as I get back on the page and stop giving everybody a mind trip, Mike Morlock at Mike's Workshop is no longer selling Flying Dutchman blades, but do not cry. Yes, he had very quick service, but the people he sold it to is Wooden Teddy Bear. They don't only do blades, so service can be slightly slower. I'm totally guessing. I've done business with them before and had good luck. They're good people, but being that they don't only deal in scroll saw blades, the shipping might be slightly slower. I cannot speak on that because I haven't talked to anybody that's ordered from them since it got sold. It just got sold as of March 8th. But that's the biggest thing you need. That's just one quick second, Russ. The biggest thing you need to know is mikesworkshop.com is no longer the place to get them. I don't know if he still has the information on his site about the differences between blades. You can check that. But Wooden Teddy Bear is woodenteddybear.com, and they have a Flying Dutchman section now, and they're still growing in that aspect of getting his blades. So they may have to find him now and then too. And before I get to you real quick, Russ, I'm going to go ahead and read the Q&A section. Unless, well, let me go ahead and let you say what you were going to say first.
Oh, I was just going to reiterate that about their shipping. I too don't know them that well, but I do know that when I tried to, I was going to experiment with some of the Olson blades. I put in an order, and don't expect them fast. I usually can get my blades if I ordered them on a Monday from Mike, I would have them by Wednesday, Thursday at the latest. When I ordered the Olson blades from Wooden Teddy Bear, it took almost 2 weeks to get them. So, and I kind of understand what Charles is saying. They sell patterns, they sell blades, they sell a lot of other things. So that might be part of the reason, but don't put an order in on a Monday and expect them Wednesday or Thursday is all I got to say about that.
Yeah, definitely. If you're in a rush, don't wait. Don't wait like some people do and wait till you're out of blades to reorder, because, you know, the average person should, as they're getting low, reorder, because in case, and we don't know if it had anything to do with the weather. You know, the weather here lately for a while there. I mean, Florida and Texas, where me and Russ both are. I'm in Gainesville, he's in Mulberry, Florida. The weather here is nice, but the places these things come from, there's a lot of ice in between, especially up in New York and Canada and all that other stuff.
And that may have played a part in it too. I mean, I just want to forewarn people that if you think you're going to get it over, and like you said, you shouldn't wait till the last minute, because it's going to catch you one of these days. So, especially place your order in plenty of time.
Absolutely. Okay. In the Q&A section, we have two things from Jeffrey Super. Jeffrey Super, appreciate your loyalty to being in the Q&A section this morning, or this afternoon. I'm so used to it. Anyway, it says, also a good video, Charlie, those glowing eyes. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was my cheesy attempt at looking like the guy turning into Hulk, David Banner. Thank you, Jeffrey, for that. He also says, can you put a link in the comment section to the chart after the show? I don't know where I got the chart, so I would have to, maybe I can upload that chart to Dropbox and put a link in.
Mike, if you're not selling it, I don't see why you couldn't upload it to your website and let people go there to get downloaded for free, as long as you're not selling it.
Actually, dang it, I already closed it. I was going to look at it and see what it said on it, because I think it was from a magazine, because I think it had the magazine title in there. Of course, the people that watch the recorded version can find that, but I will do what I can, Jeffrey, to see if I can find some way of putting it somewhere and making a link. But right this second, I don't know where I got it. I saved it to my computer, but I will do my darndest to do that. We have one other comment. I mean, no telling what it is. I saw the name. It's Mark Stalling, so I'm almost afraid to read it. Okay. It's actually a serious comment. Mark Stallings says, I put the blades in backwards and I have a denture blade. I don't know what the hell that means.
He's making a joke.
Oh, skip tooth. Okay.
Yeah.
Boy, that went over my head. Love you, Mark Stallings. You sarcastic little booger. Well, we just hit 30 minutes, Russ, so I think this may be a relatively short show, but there again, folks, the very well-known and liked Mike Morlock is no longer selling Flying Dutchman blades at mikesworkshop.com. He sold it to the Wooden Teddy Bear catalog, and I have some patterns in that catalog if anybody gives a poop. That's another reason I'm being so nice, because they've always been good to me. And also, if you want to see examples of CNC and woodwork, go to Ted Alexander on YouTube. And Mark Stalling says Florida gets it. Yep, so that was sarcasm. Thank you very much, Mark. So sorry you can't be on the panel tonight. It breaks my heart. I'm kidding, Mark. I love you to death. Anyway, bloody crap. Okay. See, he has that knack for distracting the crap out of me. I was trying to remember. Oh, okay. some of us woodworkers are wanting to help other woodworkers because I don't think enough people are doing enough sharing. Not that I speak for everybody, but there are. Okay, tonight we have a show at 7:30 p.m. Central, but there is also another show that comes on at the exact same time. If you're into just woodworking in general and not just one niche, I believe the topic tonight is different kinds of joints, not doobie, but wood joints. You know, what we call it, box joints and floating half dovetail crap. I don't know all the terms because I don't do joints. There's butt joints, but they're going to have people doing different kinds of joints on the Summers Woodworking Show, and that's run by Brian Gidney. So look up the Summers Woodworking Show. I believe Summers Woodworking is the name of the channel that it's on, because he merged all of his channels into one. And that comes on exactly the same time as our show in the evening, 7:30 p.m. Central. But if you're more into woodworking in general than scroll sawing, check that out. At 6 p.m. Central, which is before this show, is the Maritime Woodworkers. Those guys put on a show called Woodworkers Weekend Shop Talk, and that's run by Matt Brander, Jason McGann, and I believe Trevor Carter. I don't know if he's still part of that title or not. He may be. And Trevor Carter is our spotlight guy tonight, and he's a scroll sawyer as well. So you may want to check that out anyway. That starts at 6 p.m. Central, and I'll probably check that out if not trying to be on the panel, just to, I don't know, we'll see. That's run by the Maritime Woodworkers, which is Matt Brander and Jason McGinn and Trevor Carter. But the show is called Woodworkers Weekend Shop Talk, and we got 3 things in the thing, and one of them I see is my brother, and 2 of them are Mark Stallings. Okay, Mark Stallings talk about Scooby-Doo. I'm not even going to read that one. Okay, he's being mean again. My brother says fuzzies are the Antichrist. Thank you, my I love my brother. And he really is my brother. He's my twin brother, Cliff Deering. Thank you for watching, Cliff. I appreciate that. And it's been a while since I've talked to you, so let's get back in touch. You're welcome to join this hangout when the show goes off. I can send you a link if you want me to, and I'll send it to you on Facebook or anybody. Well, whatever. Yeah, fuzzies are the Antichrist, and Russ looked like he wanted to say something.
Yeah, I was interesting that you were talking about the one on help other woodworkers. I read a comment on Facebook, and I'm not going to mention who said it or any of the names or whatever the other day. And basically, the person was at a woodworking show or whatever, and he heard a couple of other people talking about the fact that there are just too many people doing videos out there, woodworking videos out there, and most of them didn't know what the heck they were doing or how to create a video for YouTube. This was a conversation between two people at one of these woodworking shows, and this guy just happened to overhear it. A lot of us commented and posted back about that, and I said, wow, I ain't even really got started yet. I think I only got 4 videos out, and he's already trying to rain on my parade. So, but I think what each individual themselves brings to the table. When the first video, or if it's, I got 4 videos out, and I have no clue what the hell I'm doing. It's a lot of fun. I'm having a great time. But I think each individual brings their own characteristics to their woodworking. For instance, there's going to be people who watch my videos that's going to not like them, or like my personality, or think I'm too hairy and ugly to to watch or something. They're going to like Charles' videos. There are going to be people that don't like Charles' videos. That's going to like watch somebody else's videos. You know, like the Maritime.
Yeah, I can't stand you, Russ. You're good for the show. There's no reason you're here. Go ahead. I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, I know, but they might watch the Maritime Woodworkers or Brian Gidney, Summers Woodworking, and they might like him and his style. So when you're watching the video, and trust me, I don't think any one of the newer video or YouTubers, so to speak. I know Brian's been on for a while, and a few others have. We're not professionals at doing this, people. That's the only way I can say it. There's nobody a professional doing it. They enjoy doing it. They're having a good time. They have something to offer. They're trying to help other woodworkers, and So the more the merrier, if you ask me.
Yeah. Well, regarding, and I think anybody that says one video is like another video clearly doesn't keep up with woodworking on YouTube, because everybody has their own specialty. And even if they all do the same project, you'll see a difference in their personality, how they're doing it. Some people are very picky about the quality of their videos. Some people, you can tell, just don't give a crap. But in the interest of going back to the Q&A, it's getting a little entertaining here. Mark Stallings wanted to know, is my twin brother the better looking one? And my brother says, gotta agree with Mark there. That's my brother being my brother. Jeffrey Super says there's definitely not enough videos out there who can complain about getting free training. If someone doesn't like it, they don't have to watch it, by golly. And there again, Cliff, and actually anybody watching, wherever you found the links to this show, I'm also going to post the link to this room once the recording stops. So any of y'all are welcome to come in. So far, it seems like Ed Natras, Mark Stallings, Jeffrey Super, and my brother Cliff Deering, all of them better come in here afterwards.
I'd like to give another little shout out to somebody too, and about that, and that's Steve Good.
Yeah.
When I first started making my own patterns, I started using years ago using Inkscape because it was free, and I didn't really think I wanted to spend $300 or $400 for buying a program to learn how to do it if I could use it and use Inkscape. And then I got to watching some of Steve Good videos, and he was using CorelDRAW, and I was like, wow, there is similarities between Inkscape and CorelDRAW, but CorelDRAW is better. And so I learned I learned a lot of how to use CorelDRAW by watching Steve Good and his videos. And I ended up buying CorelDRAW because of Steve Good and his videos. So each individual has something to offer. Just those who think they know it all know the least, if you ask me.
Yeah, and let's think about it this way, folks. This is for the viewers and me and Russ both. The best woodworker in the world right now may not have a clue how to make videos or own a video camera. So we don't know what we're missing. And with all that being said, yes, I said it again, Ed Natras, I know for a fact, is a dang good woodworker, and he has tips and tricks of ways he does it. And he says, I don't know what I'm doing as far as recording videos, but I'm sure going to give it a try. And I know Ed Natras will do good. I've heard him speak. He's a good speaker. He's very thorough. He teaches people. I don't know if many people knew that about him. Or, of course, not a lot of people know him yet. But he's a name to look out for. He goes by Edgar Natras. It's like mattress with an N. Thank you for that. And I wish you luck on that, Edgar. I believe we're caught up on the Q&A. So Cliff Deering, Edgar Natras, Jeffrey Super, and Mark Stallings, y'all better show up in this room when we post the link, or I will be hurt. I'm going through and deleting the ones we've already.
I think somebody was it Jeffrey that posted there's definitely not enough videos out there. Did you already read that? Who complain about getting free training? If someone doesn't like it, they don't have to watch it.
Yeah, he already.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear you read that one. But
and yes, my brother is the better looking one. I'm butt ugly, but my brother's just ugly. So I'm a little bit uglier than he is. Probably.
Over the years, I have learned quite a few things that on watching YouTube videos, and I continue to watch them. Instructional videos on all kinds of different things.
Oh yeah, I think anybody with any kind of open mind will continue to watch. You can learn something you didn't know. Me and you all doing this show have learned things we didn't know. But like when you saw me using spiral blades on a point, you didn't know that it could be done with a spiral like you did it with a flat blade.
Exactly.
And Mark Stallings says videos are what has taught me a lot, as well as these hangouts. And I agree, Mark. This hangout has taught us something, and videos in general would help. So I think anybody that can learn, you don't have to be a whiz at making videos to get on here. Jeffrey Super says I'm heading on to a builder show shortly, but thanks for the invitation to the after show. I should be back to see tonight's show. We hope to see you there, Jeff. And one more thing for Mark Stallings, I would have never met Charles Russ, Trevor Carter, or any other woodworking friends that have helped me. And there again, that's another benefit to YouTube and Google Hangouts. Google Plus Hangouts are addicting. So
on the plus side, we would have never known Mark either. Oh Lord, I wish.
Yeah, we could have avoided Mark if we did.
Yeah, we could have avoided Mark.
And folks, if you don't know, us and Mark Stallings have a very dry, dark, sarcastic friendship. It's a very close friendship, but my God, is it sarcastic. Okay, now here we are, Russ. We're about to end the show. We have 18 viewers. I hate ending the show, but I said that was going to be one of the updates to how the show changes because we don't want to run viewers off. But anybody,
I got a little quick thing. I can light this up and show you how to set fire to a project.
we'll save that for the blooper reel. But thank you, Russ. Okay, folks. Now I can't say this enough that this show is for y'all because of y'all. Me and Russ may run it, but what y'all want to see, what you want to learn, and all that stuff. And Mark Stalling says, "Be careful, Russ. He can get even." Oh, this is beautiful. I like to see him aiming it at Russ every now and then. It's usually aimed at me, but we encourage people to anything we may have covered it in the past, but if you want a topic covered, we'll answer. I mean, whether you comment and if I can get it out of my mouth, whether you comment in this right after the show has been aired or you months and years down the road, ask anything. If we see it, we'll answer it. There's no stupid question unless you're talking about marrying your ex again. You know, will you marry me? And that's all a whole nother show. So in the Q&A section during the shows, even if it has nothing to do with the topics we're discussing, we will make note of them. And if, unlike Russ Meadows, it took me 2 shows to get to his question about pricing because I forgot all the notes I took. But please, the show is for y'all, and everybody has been a beginner at one time, and none of us knew this stuff till somebody told us or we read it. So
it's not my fault, Russ. It's all Charles' fault. If you'd have sent it to me, I would have not forgot it.
Well, thank you, Russ. Stab me in the back right before we get done. And Mark Sully says I'm easier to mess with. That's why he. Anyway, before the abuse gets too bad for video, I appreciate all our viewers for watching. This was midday show number 3. Tonight we have season 1, episode 17. The topics tonight will be scroll saw maintenance with Rick Hutchison, helping big time in that area. Blade chuck adapters, potential methods of where to get those, and then I'll go further on that topic later. And wood sources, where to get your wood for scroll sawing.
One more thing from me.
Bloody hell!
I know. I noticed you changed your. I noticed it earlier but I forgot to point it out. I noticed you changed all your paintings behind you. That's pretty cool.
Oh, the woodwork. Thank you. Yeah, I procrastinated in doing that. I'm running out of stuff to put up here, but
now is the one over there bowls?
Yeah, these are woven Indian baskets. This is a trout, kind of looking at it from underwater. That's a Terminator skull. That's our Father who art in heaven, Jeebus. That's a bunch of mountain men on horseback. That's probably a little harder to see because of the detail in it, and it's not all that close up. But thank you for pointing that out.
Beautiful, very beautiful.
I appreciate that, sir. Well, folks, we appreciate you watching, and I think I got, the last topic on tonight's show, season 1, episode 17, will be where some good wood sources, at least online, and we can talk about the areas from the Q&A section. You can talk about your local area, where you get it from, because they may not have a website. But that being said, God, I said it again, that being said, number 1, don't scroll naked, like Mark Collins says. Number 2, we're about to post the links to join this room if you want to hang out and chat. Number 3, scroll on.